Hello, let's talk about some prison RN tips. Correctional nursing, not for the faint of heart. The objectives of this quick tip sheet are to provide insight into correctional nursing. This could be for a nursing student thinking about going into a new role when they get out of school. It could be for a current employee that's already in the prison or an employee as an RN or LPN transitioning into the role of a correctional nurse. Tip 1, require adequate training. You need to demand this. Require adequate training or face being thrown in the fuel to manage alone, risking your nursing license. This is often occurring in the prison compound, but you do not have to accept it. Hear me now, you must require adequate training. Tip 2, never let your guard down. Put on your armor and be prepared to face and conquer sneak attacks. Keep your circle small, as deceit tactics are not exclusive to inmates, if you get the drift. Tip 3, don't be overly friendly. Never use terms such as honey, dear, babe, boo, poo, sweetheart, love, sugar pie, etc. when in conversation or interacting. Or be prepared to face accusations of harassment or giving off wrong vibes that could attract unwanted attention. You will be pegged as being weak and therefore a target. Now I'm speaking from the perspective of you being an employee and your interactions with inmates. You're not to use terminology such as honey, dear, babe, sweetheart, boo-boo, nothing like that, or you will be perceived as being weak and a potential target. Tip 4, document everything. Document everything. Document everything, okay? Each day from initial report to work until the close of the working day. Never skip a day. Or be prepared to face someone denying everything you say they said or what you reported occurred in the instance that you have an issue, a grievance, a complaint. Documenting everything will put you in the best position if you ever need to advocate for yourself or prove by having evidence of the wrongdoings, which often do occur in correctional settings. Document everything. Tip 5, encourage versus discourage. Mentor, educate, and support other nurses to ensure no contribution to you eating your young happens. This is referencing nurses. Sometimes seasoned nurses, it has been noted that eat their young when these new nurses come into the practice. This absolutely does occur, most definitely in the correctional setting. Be cautious, protect yourself from nurses that are this way, trying to do this to you, and then you set the example and the precedence, which is the expectation in nursing practice. You are not to participate in this. You are to encourage other nurses. You are to encourage them and give them tips and insight. Provide them with the tools and the education to be successful. You're to carry that on once you enter the role of nursing practice. The slogan is often heard in nursing school, okay? Eating your young. It is absolutely true. It definitely happens. Trust me. You just be prepared to deal with it if you are a victim and you do not continue those wrong acts against another nurse. Tip 6, require respect and return. Have consideration of others and be open to alternate perspectives, whether you agree or not. Sure works better than entertaining any form of conflict. This tip should be part of what you have incorporated already into your everyday routine actions in life, period. Nevertheless, it is even more important in the role of a nurse, and most definitely in a correctional setting. You will need to respect other individuals, and you will also need to respect the population that you are serving. No exceptions. Tip 7, don't hide the truth. Do not be afraid to expose poor behaviors and promote responsibility and accountability in order to ensure wrongdoings are decreased and transparency is upheld. This is very critical. There will be some things within the compound of a correctional setting in which are very disturbing, and you will undoubtedly come across this. You will. You have a responsibility to report any wrongdoing, especially if anyone, an employee or an inmate, has been placed at risk for any type of safety issue, if there's anything going on relative to neglect or abuse, if you're witnessing illegal acts, you have a duty to report it. Any type of wrongdoing, poor behaviors of whoever is within that compound, employees, supervisors, warden, deputy warden, officers, captain, lieutenant, HR management, it doesn't matter. You are not to participate, and you are to bring the awareness to the public. This is public interest on what is going on. Again, do not hide the truth. This is the season of exposing. This is the season 2022. We're not taking it anymore. We're exposing your poor behaviors and promoting responsibility and ensuring you are held accountable for your wrongdoings, period. Tip 8, focus on you and yours. Demand work-life balance. You will need it. You will need it. You got to watch out for this in the correctional system, or you got to be on top of your game. Let's just say that. There are individuals in positions that will try to coerce you into working more than what you're supposed to work, making you feel some type of way, harassing you, intimidating you. It may occur. Don't allow it. Demand work-life balance. Again, document everything. If anything like this occurs to you when you feel you are at risk at work, you are to report it. Keep great accounting of what is going on. Document everything. The work-life balance you will need here. This is a very stressful environment. It takes a certain type of person to work in a prison. So you take time to sit and think, is this something that you really want to do? Now, demand work-life balance, you will need it. The role of a prison nurse is hands down one of the most stressful, with physically and mentally draining components. Therefore, maintaining your own health and wellness is critical and is top of mind. Tip 9, beware of manipulators. Never trust anyone or be prepared to face betrayal and backstabs. Sadly, it appears to be the norm in the prison system. Yes, do other nurses go against other nurses? Do they make up lies? Do they try to set you up? Do they do that type of stuff? Do they write you up in prison? Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Some nurses will not like you, especially if you are a nurse that is trying to uphold what is right and you are trying to be fair. Okay, you picked the role of correctional nursing. You knew the population you were going to be serving. It is not your duty to go in and be judgmental and think you're an arbitrator or adjudicator or some judge or whatever. You're not to do that. But there are some that are already existing in the prison. These are 9 times out of 10, the nurses that want to eat their young. These are tips that you are to put in the back of your mind, keep under your cap for preparation purposes in the event that you have to defend yourself or defend another in the form of advocacy for doing what is right for the right reasons all the time. Beware of these manipulators. You will find that a lot of nurses that are already pre-existing in a correctional institution, they really want to be officers. Some of them are very mean. Some of them do not have compassion and empathy for anyone, some not even themselves. You are not to participate in this. Think hard and long, do you want to go into correctional nursing? It can be very rewarding, However, you just prepare yourself. It's not an easy role, and you undoubtedly will be faced with many ethical issues in which you will have to make a determination on where you stand on issues and whether or not you would still want to work in a correctional institution with a lot of the unethical, biased, discriminatory, abusive, and neglectful events that you may be subjected to and you may witness on a routine basis. And it is highly likely. And I am just being transparent and very honest and truthful with you when I say you best make sure this is what you want to do, because this is very stressful, especially if you are a nurse in nursing practice, promoting health and wellness, reducing risk and complications, ensuring that there is equality for all people, including this particular population that you chose to serve. You will be tested. You will be tested in a correctional nursing facility. Facts. Okay. Tip 10, know your surroundings. Routinely scan the room, make eye contact with others, never stand or sit with your back turned. You should already know these types of things. I'm pretty sure you do, but lots of folks don't. So let's bring it back to the forefront. You must protect yourself in these institutions. Okay, high risk for, being attacked. Yes. It's no joke. We're not sugarcoating here. So if you're going to pick the role, be aware that you must always know your surroundings, period. Okay? You need to know that your unawareness of your surroundings. I think I typed that wrong, but anyways, you know what I'm saying. Your unawareness of surroundings will decrease opportunity to defend yourself. No, that's correct. That's correct, absolutely. So basically what I'm saying here is if your unawareness of your surroundings is going to not give you a chance to defend yourself, you sitting with your back turned or something like that, or you chatty patting it up with another nurse, not paying attention, you can be ambushed. Quit acting so silly. After you got some sense, I'm telling you, this is not the area to go into in your nursing career. And you're acting like a space cadet. You understand me? You're gonna get jacked up in here. All right. Tip 11, you need to remain prepared. Okay? And CYA, you know what CYA is? You better cover your ass, period. Always follow up with written correspondence to every face-to-face or verbal interaction or instance via email. Okay? You need to send clarifying emails. Okay? I don't care if you talk to somebody face-to-face, and y'all chatty patting it up or whatever, and they said something to you verbally. Okay, honey, they're gonna sit there and say that they never talked to you, they never told you XYZ. If it ever comes to it, where you need to take them to court, or you need to, you filed a grievance or something like that, and there's some alternate external party involved trying to help hash out what occurred. You don't have it written down, you don't have the proof. Guess what? You didn't document it, didn't happen. Quit acting so dumb. So what you're going to say is, hi, Jill. Just wanted to recap our discussion to ensure we are on the same page moving forward. Please confirm the receipt, so receipt of this email or whatever, and offer clarification if necessary, okay? In instances like this where you need to document for yourself, you also need to ensure that you have your own copy where only you can access it. So if that means sending a blind copy of whatever you're documenting to yourself from this particular email, okay? Or say, for instance, you're working somewhere and everything is encrypted. It makes it a little more difficult for you to copy yourself on. Then you need to use an alternate tool, like a copy paste into a Word document or a snippet if they have that particular software. And you need to go and you need to snippet out each and everything that you have documented, put it in a Word document, and you go ahead and send yourself an email and attach all those documents. That's how you can kind of get around some of those encryptions, where if you copy yourself from inside the institution to your home email, where you'll need a login password that's provided by the institution or a particular company in order for you to access, okay? Because in a legal realm, and this is not legal advice, I'm just telling you, in a legal realm, what I will tell you, if you have to file some type of issue against an entity for messing with you, what they will do is they will ensure that you no longer have access to your emails and things like that. So you need to be planning. You need to be planning, okay? Okay. And this is not even nursing specific. This is anywhere that you work, anything that you're doing, you need to be documenting. You need to be making sure you have your own copy. If things are encrypted and so on and so forth, you need to find another mechanism in which you can get the information. So screenshots, you may not be able to get in the prison because you're not allowed to have telephones unless something has changed. You may be able to have phones now. I'm not sure, but at one point you were not able to have phones in an institution. So screenshotting and recording and things like that just was not an option. Okay, it may be now, and they will utilize that. Individuals that are doing wrongdoings in the prison system, which are more so, not so much the inmates as it is some of the employees and those individuals that are in leadership roles and in, positions that you would think would have ethics, and they actually are held by professional conduct standards and so forth. But you will be surprised in a correctional setting at how many people are actually licensed and highly educated and held to ethical codes and standards that are not upholding those. And so you have to keep your eyes peeled for them as well. It's not just the inmates. Understand, when you enter into the correctional nursing realm, it's not just the inmates. It's not the vulnerable population that oftentimes do not receive quality health care. Okay, because people have the preconceived notion that they are the ones in position to be judging these people. So they go in here as nurses and other roles, and they are acting as if they are the police. They are the judge. They're God. They're to bring, chastise and punish. That is not your role as the nurse, period. If you're going into correctional nursing so that you can be abusive and neglectful, it would be in your best interest not to do that. Because hopefully now, in the day and age of exposing in 2022, more and more insight and awareness will be provided to the universe and the community and the public who definitely has interest in a correctional nursing setting or corrections period, that this will not be tolerated. It does go on, and it will not be tolerated. So hopefully you will not go into this as a new nurse or a nurse already seeking to transition into an alternate role, and you choose correctional nursing, yet you decide that you're going to go in there and abuse, neglect, discriminate, okay, judge, be biased. Please don't do that. It's highly recommended that you abide by your code of ethics, okay, and professional conduct. Or those of us nurses that take nursing practice very seriously, we do not want you in the practice, and we're always watching, okay? Always watching for the wrongdoers, all right? Just because you're a nurse doesn't mean that you automatically get a pass and you are the greatest of the all-time sweetie pie, okay, Mary Poppins nurse. No, okay? And I will tell you, once you go into the prison, you will see for yourself that a lot of the nurses that are seasoned and they're veteran correctional nurses, they are not cream of the crop. They're not the most compassionate and empathetic. They are not the Florence Nightingales, okay, that you're learning about in school now. No. Or if you've been working in another role as a nurse already, somewhere else, like a hospital setting, long-term care facility, and you're used to, having colleagues on the team that are genuinely caring about patients, everybody chips in, everybody is just really trying to support one another. All the interdisciplinary team members are coming together to ensure best optimized outcomes for the patient. If you are used to that and you're going to transition into correctional nursing, let's just say keep your eyes peeled, take some of these tips into consideration, because you're gonna go for a ride, honey. You hear me? All right. Now, back to what I told you. You're gonna write everything down. Even if you had some type of verbal conversation with someone, you are going to follow up with it in writing. I don't care, because you'll find as well, especially if you have an issue and you've let your issue known verbally, those powers that be, or those corrupt individuals that do not want the awareness brought. They're going to try to get rid of you. They're going to plot and strategize to get rid of you. Trust me, it's going to come. If you have a complaint, they will retaliate. So make sure you are documenting everything. And then what they will do, they will try to have telephone conversations with you. They will try to call you in one-on-one meetings, or meetings where it's just you and like 500 other people there as an intimidation and harassment tactic. They will create a hostile working environment for you. You can absolutely guarantee that. But if you are doing what I'm telling you to do, and that is documenting everything and following up with any verbal interaction, with written correspondence, you will find you can advocate and prove your point at a later date in the event that you need to file something with an external entity and you may need their intervention. You have the documentation, you have the proof, you have the evidence to substantiate whatever you are saying. Be wise. Be wise. There's a lot of tips for you. And these are free tips. These are actually free tips. I didn't charge anybody a dime, not one dime. Okay? Now, okay, write everything down. Or you need to utilize some type of mechanism of writing down occurrences and events. Like I said, use a snippet tool. If you got a phone, they allow you to have fun, screenshot it, scan it, do whatever. Okay, I don't know. What I've learned is that you can actually, got to be savvy with it, but if you just copy, you can copy your emails and you can actually paste them even into a Word document. And then what it will look like on the end as far as encryption is concerned, you're just sending a document to yourself. Okay. All right. Also, if you're working in a prison that is a state prison, you want to always make sure you're filing grievances. Yeah, file your grievances. File those, and keep copies for yourself. Download them and send them to yourself. Make sure you got them all compiled. Put them in a zip file. Okay, just be prepared. Okay, be prepared to have someone say, "I never said that. I never said that. I never did that. No, you didn't. That's a lie." Okay, so write it down, document it. I mean, date, time, who you told it to, where you were at the time. On October 24th, 2022, we were standing in my office down in the receptionist center, and I had to ask inmate 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to step out for a moment. And then you came in with Officer Boom and Deputy Boom and Warden Hook and whoever. And we all sit in my office, and what was said was, quote, boom, 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 boom. And then Johnny said, quote, boom, 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 boom. Okay? Don't be stupid. Now, tip 12, lead by example. You always want to do this. You must do this in a nursing practice. If you're not doing this in a nursing practice, or you have no intention of doing this in a nursing practice, you need to find a career. So yeah, okay. Always remain fair and consistent, never waver in order to ensure trustworthiness and integrity is upheld. You set the standard and stick to it. Many will hate on you, and that is okay. Okay. Continue to represent leadership, as you will win despite it all. If this is not top of mind for you in what you're doing in terms of nursing practice, period, I don't care what your role is, you are in the wrong field. Period. Okay. You need to always remain fair. Okay. You need to promote equality, diversity. Okay. You are not to bring any of your biases and prejudices into this practice ever. Tip 13, stand up for what is right. So always advocate for impartial and unbiased approach. Okay. Always advocate for that. Yes, I just said it already. You need to be ethical. Do you have any morals or values? There's no room for anyone that is discriminatory or biased, period, against any population of people, no matter what. If you have your prejudices and your biases, and you have the intention of coming into the field of nursing practice with that, You will not last long in this field. You will not last long in this field. Okay. You are not welcome if you are that way in this field. All right. So you need to ensure that ethics are upheld, period. Multitudes of people depend on you. And as far as correctional nursing is concerned, that's the inmates, their families, other employees, and the community as a whole. Do not disappoint. You became a nurse for a reason, which hopefully the fundamental reason lies with wanting to, ensure best outcomes for the patient population that you're serving. And that means in any arena that you choose to serve in the role of a nurse, including, okay, including correctional nursing. Mhm. You will be tested. You will be tested. There are some heinous crimes that people in there have committed. Okay, but that is not for you to judge. That is not your role. And if you feel that you're going to have a difficult time with that, it is really just best that you stay away from entering into correctional nursing. Yeah. All right, tip 14. Here you go. You already know this. Never jeopardize your nursing license for anyone, anything, point blank, period, never. You are at high risk of losing your license in a correctional institution. As I stated before, you will be placed in hazardous situations. And in fact, in some institutions, believe it or not, like I said, prepare yourself and you need to demand adequate training because of staffing issues and so on and so forth. You may believe that you are supposed to get on the job training. You have several weeks that you're supposed to go through this, but not lots and lots and lots of times that is not seen through to the end. You will not be properly trained. However, you may be the sole individual there to man an entire compound. That has occurred. That has occurred. Mhm, mhm. So you need to be on top of things and you need to at all times protect your nursing license and you need to demand that you are put in a position that allows you to provide safe care to whoever you are serving, but also to keep yourself safe as well. That needs to be top of mind. I'm telling you this because if you are not aware of how to ensure that you remain safe and the population that you're serving remains safe, and that it absolutely does matter about staffing issues and things like that, you can definitely lose your license. And if you are not documenting and you are not bringing to the attention of the individuals that matter, not only inside the institution but on the outside. So what that means is you need to give an alert to those that have interest in whatever a prison, whatever correctional facility you go to. Whoever has interest in that particular facility, you need to make them aware of what is going on. So if that is the governor, okay, so if that is the attorney general, if that is some prison board, if that is just the public in general with social media posts and so on and so forth, okay? Because the public institutions, correctional institutions, your taxpayer dollars are actually going to those institutions. So, a lot of awareness on the outside with external people needs to be made as well sometimes, okay, to ensure that you are safe in practice and what you're doing, even the nursing board. If you're feeling that your safety is being placed on the line or your license is being put at risk, you need to also give them the awareness. Yeah, any associations, nursing associations, any patient or individual rights advocacy groups or whatever. Yeah, even city council or whatever. Get involved in health reform and all kinds of different things because you have to be the voice. This stuff needs to stop, right? Okay, but I will tell you, you need to protect your nursing license because it is absolutely going to be on the line in a correctional setting. Yes, it is. So again, this role is not for the faint of heart, and you need to take prior preparation attempts, in planning if this is what you really want to do. It can be very, very rewarding, especially when you see the population of people in there that you have actually helped with their acute or chronic health conditions, and there's also mental health, mental health. Okay, so it's a holistic approach to nursing that you need to be taking, and you will undoubtedly have grand experience at all areas of nursing practice in a correctional setting. So please don't ever believe or underestimate the role itself. You will have a diverse background by working in a correctional setting, because oftentimes you do not know what you're getting. Okay, you'll need to know about acute care. You need to know about chronic care. You need to know about wound care and different treatments and things like that that go along with wounds. Okay, you'll need to know that. You'll need to know about vaccinations. You'll be given vaccinations and things like that on a routine basis as well. Okay, you'll need to know about different medications and different approaches that are even involved in substance disorder. Okay, because sometimes some inmates are brought in that will undergo detox. So the protocols for that you'll need to know. And if they do not teach you, again, adequate training, because you're coming right out of school, a lot of you are coming right out of school. If you don't have the adequate training in what the protocols are for, say, alcohol withdrawal, heroin withdrawal, you don't know anything about Suboxone, you don't know anything about Subutex, you don't know anything about Librium, you don't know anything about Ativan. All you did was, you took pharmacology, or you read about maybe situations in a book, or maybe you did a clinical rotation, but you had no real practical experience, meaning you have not been out here in the real world dealing with this. You're going to have a very difficult time. So you need to demand you get trained adequately, point blank, period, or you're going to cause yourself a lot of headache, and you potentially can risk a patient's life, and that is unacceptable. And you don't want to be held accountable for that, do you? And all you had to do is make sure you had a proper training. All right, never jeopardize your license. Again, always protect your nursing license no matter what, or face having it put on the line routinely. Go back to the tip 6 and read it 20 more times. Believe it or not, the prison system is the best way to have your hard work washed away. Do not allow this to occur.